You did advise him to accept.
I told him it was a good offer. I told him what the alternative is. I told him if it was me, I would take it. And I told him that no man should ever confess to a crime he did not commit.
It ain't gonna work out too good.
I thought Jews were supposed to be smart. You sound just
Cut
like
this
me.
off.
I thank you, Lord.
Power off.
That's possibly the greatest compliment you could have given me.
Let's see what I'm trying to do. That should work.
On this vote, the yeas are 218 and the...
Hey, what's up, chat? What's up, chat? Right now, a lot been going on lately, but we want to talk about the Save America Act, which is basically voting rights only for people that are American citizens, and then you have to show not only your ID, but you have to show a birth certificate when you go vote. Hey, what's up, Kicks? Appreciate you for joining. You have to show. Well, it only passed the House right now, but if it passes the Senate, then everybody that votes, you would have to show a birth certificate when you go vote. Which you already know, when you go vote, it's already it can be kind of hectic, when you're voting. And let me see, remember the last time I voted, let's see. Yeah, we had to show ID. That's it. But if this new bill, the Save America bill, passes the Senate, then we're going to have to show a birth certificate, proof that you're an American citizen when you go vote. So it's going to be a little bit tougher, right? It's going to be a little bit tougher for people that already have problems with going to vote, because when you go, you want to take as less things as possible, and you want to get in and you want to get out. But if you just take your birth certificate and your ID, man, you should be good. Now I think that's okay. I think that you should have to show that you really are a U.S. citizen. When you go vote. So I'm gonna play this. And the reason why I'm not doing it on the computer is because I want to do something a little different. And we're going to play what the speaker says. Speaker Johnson is going to say about this bill, at least going through the Senate. Going to the House. So appreciate y'all for joining me. Hope y'all having a good day. Hope you're having a good night. Please hit the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I'm going to ask a question too, because I've been thinking, I think I'm going to change the name of the channel, but I want the people to decide, should I change the name? I want to change the name to the Freedom of Speech channel. That's what I want to change the name. I'm going to still be the Stock Sniper, but I want to rebrand the channel name and change it to something else. And I'm going to put a poll up right now, and I would love for you to vote. Should I change channel name to Freedom of Speech? I'm gonna capitalize it. Freedom of Speech. Dang. Wait, it ain't gonna let me do all that. Change channel name to Freedom of Speech. Channel. Let's see. Bear with me, chat. Okay. That is the question, chat. Start the poll. There we go. That's what I want to do, chat. I want to change the name of the channel. I've been thinking about this for a while. Changing the name of this channel from the Stock Sniper TV. I've been thinking about changing it to Freedom of Speech channel. See, that's the reason why I really went live from the phone instead of going live from my computer, because on the computer I can't do this. So this is a poll, and I'm trying to get as many votes as possible. So what the people think, you know, should I change the name of the channel to Freedom of Speech channel? That's what I've been thinking about doing, chat. Changing it from the Stock Sniper TV to the Freedom of Speech channel. And I want, you know, the people's input on what the people think while we react to this video about Speaker Johnson and the House passing Save America Act, which is requiring that when we go vote, that we have to show proof that we are a U.S. citizen. In my opinion, I think that is a good idea. As we get the votes coming in, appreciate y'all for voting. A lot of people, you know, so far are saying, yes, that we should change the name to the Freedom of Speech channel. So we're going to react to Speaker Johnson and this Save America Act. I appreciate everybody for joining. We got 6 likes so far. Hit the like button as you come in. Hit the like button as you come in. I'm your host, the one and only Stock Sniper. But also, chat, my host name is going to stay the same. The Stock Sniper is the Stock Sniper. Only thing that's going to change is that I'm thinking about rebranding the channel to the Freedom of Speech channel, because that's exactly what this channel is. It's the freedom of speech. And I want the people's input. You know, should I change it? Because it's been the Stock Sniper TV for so long. But lately, you know, I've been thinking of rebranding the channel to the Freedom of Speech channel, because as Americans, we have the freedom of speech. Freedom of speech, speaking your opinion, as long as you're respectable, right? I think it's very, very important. Okay, here we go, chat. Now we're going to we're going to react to Speaker Johnson and the passing of this Save America Act. Here we go. Let me do something else, Chad. Hold on. This is a very important night on the House floor. Let me take this off. Tonight stood with the overwhelming majority of Americans who demand secure elections. Standing with me are some of the champions of this cause. Maybe it's good right there. Some of the leaders outside our chamber who've been working on this issue to ensure this integrity for quite some time. And this is a big achievement tonight. By voting for the Save America Act, House Republicans did exactly what the American people sent us here to do. As promises made, promises kept. Ensuring the integrity of elections is an essential issue. It's essential to maintaining our constitutional republic, and everybody in this country seems to understand and agree to that. This is about a 90-10 issue in the polling, because all that we've done tonight in this
simple piece of legislation is apply common sense. All the Save America Act does is it enhances the SAVE Act, which you've already passed twice before, which says that you have to have proof of citizenship before you register to vote in federal elections. The law already provides for that, but we need to ensure that it's enforced. And the second part of it, what we added tonight and what is part of the Save America Act is the second piece, the very common sense requirement that you have a photo ID if you're going to vote. So that's it. That's what the bill does. Proof of citizenship and photo ID to vote. Everyone in the country understands the necessity of that, understands how simple it is and how important it is. And the only people that oppose it.
So there you go, chat. You gotta have a voter ID, and you have to show proof that you're a U.S. citizen, meaning that you got to show your birth certificate.
Are people who want to cheat our system, who want to participate in our elections illegally, unlawfully. And that's not fair to the American people and the citizens of this country. And so we had only one House Democrat participate with us tonight. This has become a bitter partisan fight, and it's madness to us. We can't quite understand what the rationale is for opposing a free and fair election. But they're going to have to explain this to the people. They're going to have a hard time doing that. Now, this bill, having passed the House, will now go to the Senate. And we are encouraging all of our Senate Republican colleagues who believe in this just as we do to try to get this thing through the system, to pass it there. And we're hoping that some Democrats in the Senate will come to their senses and do the right thing for the people. Otherwise, they got a lot of explaining to do, as we say down in the South. This is something that is overdue. It's something that's common sense. It's something that comports with what the American people want. And there's really just one question that would linger over all this now. Will Senate Democrats continue to cater to their extreme left-wing base, or are they going to finally join the overwhelming majority of Americans on this common sense reform? But I'll tell you this, once again, Republicans have demonstrated that we are the party of common sense. We are the party that's delivering exactly what the American people sent us here to do, and we will continue that. Got a lot of champions that you can hear from here shortly before we take a few questions, and I'm going to yield first to Chairman Brian Stile, who has worked really hard on this issue. Where is he at?
Right behind you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. What an exciting day to have passed the Save America Act. Moving forward, two absolutely essential and important topics in election integrity. Making sure that it's only U.S. citizens who are voting in U.S. elections by ensuring that there is proof of citizenship at the time of registration. The other topic being photo identification. And as you watch the left push back against this, you realize how ridiculous their argument is. We were having a debate, a committee on the topic of photo identification. I flew home to Wisconsin, went, grabbed a six-pack of beer. The clerk recognized me, said, "Hey, Brian, can I see your ID?" I said, "Sure." I opened up my wallet, handed my wallet, he checked it. He allowed me to buy a six-pack of beer. I just think it's absolutely nuts that we protect our beer more than our ballots in jurisdictions across this country. The legislation today is a meaningful and real step forward in election integrity to make sure that it's only American citizens who are voting and that the people are who they say they are who come to the polls. So I appreciate the work of the leadership, our outside friends who are with us today, and it's my great pleasure to now yield to the author of the bill, my good friend, Chip Roy.
Well, only a man from Wisconsin being here talking about protecting his beer. It's like, look, and I'm for that, by the way. On the record, I'm for protecting your beer. Look, it is an honor to be here. I just think this is a great reflection of the team that is the Republican conference in the House and what we're doing to work together to deliver for the American people. They sent us here to do what we said we would do. It's a pretty simple task. The president talks about common sense. This piece of legislation is simple common sense. There's a reason that it is polling at astronomical levels, no matter which party you're in, no matter what race or background you have, whether you're urban or rural, whether you're black or white, Hispanic, whether you're male or female, it's polling at 80, 85, 90% across the country. It's because it's common sense. The American people want a sovereign nation. They understand that voter ID is common sense to vote. They want only American citizens to vote in American elections, and this legislation does that. And the Save America Act is now headed to the Senate. And we certainly hope that the Senate will take it up in good faith, put it on the floor, and have a robust debate. Make the greatest deliberative body a great deliberative body again. Go to the floor of the Senate and take this up. I want to see people who want to oppose it go to the floor of the Senate and try to explain to the American people why they wouldn't support this common sense legislation. I want to thank the Speaker. I want to thank Chairman Stile. I want to thank all of the leadership team here. But I want to give a special shout out and thanks to the groups and all of my friends here, but particularly Cleta Mitchell, without whom we wouldn't have been able to get this drafted in the first place and get this bill across the finish line here in the House. So with all of that, I appreciate it, and I'll turn it over to our great leader, Steve Scalise.
Thank you, Chip. I appreciate your leadership and all the people up here, and especially those friends from the outside world that have been focusing on this for a long time. The House of Representatives, led by Republicans, came together tonight and said, we will protect the sanctity of your vote. And it's so important. You know, you think about the military veteran who risked his life overseas to defend our freedoms. He comes back home, and his vote will be stolen if somebody's able to vote illegally. And it happens. I come from a state where our elections commissioner was sent to federal prison. We all know it goes on, and how can you protect it? And then when you listen to the arguments by the Democrats, it was some of the most embarrassing, hypocritical debate you could hear. They're talking about voter suppression. Well, let me tell you, and it's been brought up. Try getting on an airplane and flying home tonight without showing a picture ID. Try going into a bar without showing a picture ID. Try getting into the Democrat National Convention without showing an ID. They required it. The same Democrats that are saying things like Jim Crow said you have to have an ID to get into their own convention because they know it's common sense. If you want to have a secure operation in anything, and elections are the most important franchise we have in America to protect democracy. And so, yes, we had a really important vote. Great to see one Democrat. Really perplexing why every other Democrat wanted to support voter fraud. That's really what you're supporting if you voted no tonight. You're saying you're okay with voter fraud. And that's a disgrace. Just look at states that have done this. Georgia, they said all those same things, by the way, in the state of Georgia, that passed a voter ID requirement. And what happened in the next election after? You had actually higher voter participation. And in one part, I think it was because of the voter ID law, because then people had a higher confidence in their vote counting, because they knew it was harder for somebody to cheat and steal because of the voter ID requirement. So you will increase confidence amongst legal voters with this provision. And that's why it's so important that the Senate take this up and find a way to get it to President Trump's desk. President Trump wants this bill on his desk so he can sign it into law and give even stronger protections to all Americans, over 80%, who strongly want the protection of the sanctity of their vote. And the man who helped us get the votes for this bill, our rep, Tom Emmer. American elections are for American citizens only. That's not controversial. That's just common sense. And that's why our House Republican team passed Congressman Chip Roy's Save America Act today. More than 70 other countries already require a photo ID to vote in their elections. It's also an issue that 83% of Americans support the photo ID requirement in this bill, with even proof of citizenship, including 71% of Democrats. In other words, today's vote should have been a no-brainer for our colleagues across the aisle. Yet House Democrats oppose this common sense piece of legislation. And for what? Mr. Speaker, you were saying it's hard for us to understand. It's not hard. I think it's pretty easy, actually, because identification requirements are now suddenly racist or sexist? No, if that's the case, House Democrats need to reevaluate how they go through the security line at the airport, like Leader Scalise just talked about, how they buy cold medicine or rent books at public libraries. Their argument is absurd because it's a lie. Quite simple. This isn't about race or gender for them. This is about wanting to make sure that illegal aliens can vote for Democrats in future elections. Just ask my governor, Tim Walz, who refuses to hand over Minnesota's voter rolls to the Department of Justice. I wonder what you're hiding. We need election integrity now more than ever. And I want to thank Congressman Chip Roy. I want to thank our friend, the chairman, Brian Stile, the speaker, the leader, all these people here, our conference chair, who will light it up here in a second. And I urge our Republican Senate colleagues, just like my colleagues up here, please take up the Save America Act immediately. Let's get this common sense piece of legislation to President Trump's desk as if our democracy depends on it, because it does. And with that, Chair McClain.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you, Chip, for putting this piece of legislation on the floor, and thank you, Brian, and most of all, thank you to our coalition partners here. Today, House Republicans stood up for the only people that should decide American elections. Anybody want to guess who that is? Americans, right? The radical left wants you to believe voter ID is extreme, right? Give me a break, right? Voter ID is extreme. You need an ID to open a bank account. Gee, that's pretty extreme. You need an ID to board a plane. My goodness gracious, that's extreme. You need an ID to buy a beer, even in Wisconsin, right? My goodness, that is so extreme, Brian. I can't believe it. You don't even need ID to pick up certain cold medicines. So let's get this straight. Buying a six-pack of beer or cold medicine requires more security than choosing the leader of the free world? You need to ask your Democrat colleagues, like, what's your rationale? Ask them to connect the dots for you on that one. It's just not, it's backwards, it's absurd, and it's hilarious. And why? Because the Democrats know it's hilarious, because they want voter fraud. They want fraud. They advocate for fraud. Look at what they're doing in Minnesota. Just hear Mr. Emmer talk about that. They love fraud. God forbid if we take a look at fraud. And you know what's even more jaw-dropping? Having Democrats like Senator Ossoff, who opposes this bill. I mean, he's out there fighting. This is just terrible, right, Senator? Requiring voter ID to vote. Well, hear me on this. Just hear me out. Well, to get into his town hall, you had to have a voter ID. What is he trying to suppress the vote for people to get into his own town hall? What a contradiction. It's laughable. It's absurd. It's embarrassing. But why? Because it's safer. Of course it's safer, Senator. So why wouldn't you want the same standard for the people who vote? Different standards for you. Just interesting, right? But the American people can see right through that. They recognize common sense when they hear it, and they know that protecting the integrity of our elections is not extreme. It's absolutely essential. For years, Democrats have blurred the lines at our borders, downplayed concerns about election security, and dismissed the voices of everyday Americans who simply want fair and honest elections. Isn't that terrible? They've tried to shame and silence anyone who dares to ask a basic question about ensuring the fact that only Americans can vote. Well, let me share with you. With Chip Roy, Brian Stiles, and this coalition team behind me, that's not going to happen on our watch. The Save America Act is not complicated. It's really not. It's not radical. It's not even controversial. Actually, it's not controversial to anyone who's operating in reality. It's crystal clear. If you want to vote in American elections, all you got to do is prove that you're an American. Period. No loopholes, no games, no excuses. Voting is just another transaction. It is sacred. It's not just another transaction. It's sacred, and it is the foundation of our republic. It's the voice of the American people and the voice that belongs to the citizens. It does not belong to non-citizens. It does not belong to foreign nationals, and it does not belong to anyone who is here illegally. So again, thank you for all of your hard work on this. And with that, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, we'll take a few questions. Before I do that, I just wanted to say there's a biblical admonition to give honor where honor is due. A lot of people worked really hard on this, and this was a years-long effort. And I was, Chip and I were discussing earlier today how this began when we first filed the SAVE Act. I remember we were out on the steps in the last Congress. Cleta Mitchell was there, and Ken Cuccinelli, and Jenny Beth Martin, and Tea Party Patriots. All of our friends are there, many here with us tonight. They were out on the steps advocating for this. And when we presented it, we presented it as a matter of common sense, and the American people agreed with that. And in recent days, you've had people like Scott Pressler up here who's just been online just hammering this thing over and over and making sure that people are aware of this. And it really took all that effort from the outside to here inside the building to make this happen. And it's, again, delivering on our promises. So a couple questions about this. We'll be happy to do it. Yes, sir.
Question on this, what assurances have you got that it's going to come up to the Senate and we talked about the fund? While having DHS public shutdown, heard any progress on that stuff?
Yeah, so I'm staying in close contact with Leader Thune, and we met yesterday, actually, and talked about this. I told him it would be coming over. We were certain to pass it, and we would send it, and hopefully we'd get a few Democrats. We got one, okay? So it's a bipartisan bill. It's going to the Senate, and I think Leader Thune is committed. I mean, I know he is to getting this to the floor, but we want to get it not just to the floor, but to the president's desk. We need to get this signed into law. It's really important for all the reasons stated here. We have a custom between us. He doesn't tell me how to run the House. I don't tell him how to run the Senate. But I trust that he is committed to it, and they're trying to figure that out, figure out the right path. And I think the talking filibuster is part of that discussion, and we'll see how it shakes out. So I would hope that there'd be some sensible Democrats there that would recognize, as one did here tonight, that this is a good policy and a good thing, and it's right. It shouldn't be a partisan issue. This is anybody who's for free and fair elections, for the integrity of our system, should be on board with this, and hopefully they could get 60 votes over there. We'll see how it happens. With regard to the Homeland Security, there is good faith negotiations ongoing right now. I was at the White House 90 minutes ago with the president talking about that very thing. The White House is sending over a few terms. I don't know if you call it a counter offer, but they're in negotiations with Senate Democrats, and we're very hopeful that that can be worked out. They are going to vote on the House Homeland Security Appropriations Bill that we passed here, by the way, with bipartisan votes. They're going to vote on that tomorrow. If they do not have 60 votes to pass it, I think by unanimous consent they could move into a short-term CR. We don't know yet how that's going to shake out, but I did tell the House Republicans, I put everybody on notice, that I would anticipate votes on Friday. I certainly hope that's true, because shutting down the government right now, if the Democrats force a government shutdown, it will be a disaster for the country.
Oh, forgot about that, Chad.
The Department of Homeland Security covers the agencies that keep Americans safe. You're talking about the Coast Guard, you're talking about FEMA, Secret Service, TSA. No one wants flight delays. We don't need another Democrat shutdown. They already gave us the longest one in history last fall. We've had enough of that. So let's hope cooler heads prevail and we get this done, and we do not have to shut the government down. Yes, ma'am.
Last question. During the 43-day shutdown, you made the decision to not have the House in for almost the entirety of that if DHS shuts down. Do you plan to keep the recess next week? Do you plan to keep the House out? Do you plan to bring them back? What are you planning to do?
Well, I'm not going to forecast what will happen because we don't know. The scenario I just painted for you is the one I expect. No deal yet, but I mean, I do believe that at least the White House is operating in good faith, and I can testify to that because I was just with the group and the president himself. We'll see how the Democrats receive that. This would be different than the full government shutdown for 43 days, and we will do whatever is necessary. Republicans will do whatever is necessary to get the government open. If it looks like we have an opportunity to do that, then I would press for it. If it's a short-term CR, that would cover next week. People have very important events in their districts, serving their constituents, doing that hard work, and that's always of high importance and high priority. So we'll have to make the decision depending on the circumstances as they develop, so stay tuned. Appreciate y'all being here so much. Thank you so much.
Well, that's it, Chad. Hold up, we got the votes in. Let me tally up these votes. All right, let's see. We got 17 votes so far. 65% of the people are down with the channel, the name change. If you're just now joining, I'm your host, the one and only Stock Sniper, and I'm thinking about changing the channel's name to the Freedom of Speech channel. You know, I appreciate everybody for joining. If you just now tuning in, do me a favor and go vote. If you've been rocking with the channel, if you've been coming around, you know, the name of the channel has been the Stock Sniper TV for so long, but we're thinking about rebranding the channel name. We're thinking about changing it to the Freedom of Speech channel. But we want to see, do the people agree? The people that rock with the channel, do y'all agree that we should change the name to the Freedom of Speech channel? Since we always talk about freedom of speech, this is the Freedom of Speech channel. You know, we encourage people to come over here, speak your mind. Long as you are not like, you know, we got to have a little bit of common sense when it comes to talking about freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. But we're thinking about changing the name, rebranding the whole channel to the Freedom of Speech channel. But the host name will remain the same. You know, the host name, which is me, I still will remain the Stock Sniper. So you'll hear me talk like usual, and we'll connect and we'll interact and we'll run the shows and we'll kick it like usual. But the channel name will be the Freedom of Speech channel, and I'll still be saying I'm your host, the Stock Sniper. You know, it still will be that. It's just I'm just going to rebrand the name of the channel. That's what we've been thinking about doing, you know, for the past couple of weeks. And I want to know what the people think. You know, it's a lot of people that come through and rock with the channel. And I just want to know what y'all think. You know, should we change the name? That's all. That's what I'm saying. Let's see. Didn't your president buy another 100 billion for Brazilian beef? I don't know. I don't know what my president did about that. Did he buy another 10 billion for Brazilian beef? I don't know. I ain't heard nothing about that one. So, what's your name? Eugene? Tell us about it. Tell us a little bit about it, because I never heard about that. So tell me about it. About the 10 billion investment in Brazilian beef. Tell me a little bit about it. You talking about meat? Brazilian meat? I used to like those Brazilian steaks. I ain't gonna lie. The Brazilian steaks at the Brazilian steakhouse. Ooh, talk about tasting good. Woo, that Brazilian food, I love it. But of course, that's when I was eating meat. If you don't know, I'm a vegan. I don't eat meat. When I do eat meat, it's just for like a cheat meal. That's what it is. So how y'all doing tonight, chat? How y'all doing? Matter of fact, let me look that up. Let's see if my president actually bought. He is trying to bring down the price over the counter. Oh, I hope so. Yeah, they need to bring these prices down. Let's see. Is Trump buying? Y'all gotta bear with me, Chad. Let's see. You're correct. That's exactly what they're doing, according to Google and AI. You're right. Thank you for the knowledge. Thank you. Because I didn't know it. See, that's why I love the chat. You got good people that know a lot. See, I don't claim to know everything. I'm not the channel host that think I know everything. I like to learn from the chat because it's we the people. And you're absolutely correct. He's trying to bring more Brazilian beef over here to lower down the cost of beef. You're absolutely correct. Appreciate you for letting us know. And of course, I don't eat meat. I'm a vegan. But I do cheat. And I love my brisket. So yeah. And man, I don't think I ate brisket none this year. But yeah, I'm a vegan. I don't eat meat. And when I do eat meat, that's like a cheat meal. You know, I love eating my brisket. Love it. He is trying to break the cattlemen of the U.S. Well, we got to try to bring the cost of these groceries down any way we can. So yeah, let's see how many votes we got now, chat. 19 votes. If you just not joining, please go vote. If you've been coming to this channel on a regular basis, I need you to vote because I need to know what the people think. Should I change the name of the channel to the Freedom of Speech channel? But if I do change the name, it will be once we get over 10,000 subscribers. That's when we're going to change the name. Let me see how many subscribers we at right now. We at 1 subscriber away from 9,400. Then we need 600 more subscribers to hit the goal of 10K. Once we get to 10,000 subscribers, we will be doing a Cash App giveaway. And then we will be announcing at that time, will we go and rebrand the channel name to the Freedom of Speech channel. That's what we're thinking about doing. But yeah, chat, if you're just not joining, I'm your host, the one only Stock Sniper, and we just got through reacting to what they're trying to do with the Safe America Act. That's what it's called. Save America Act. And they're going to start making us show birth certificates at the voter poll. So I think that's pretty good, you know, to keep people that's not Americans, to keep them from voting. You know, I think that's kind of good. What y'all think, chat? Y'all think that's okay? What do you think about the Save America Act? Let me know, chat. I don't have my voter ID. Well, if it passes the Senate, when you go vote, you're going to have to show them proof that you are an American. You know, it's kind of crazy that it's come to that, but you're going to have to show that you are an American citizen by showing your birth certificate. So a lot of people are not liking that though, Chad. A lot of people, they're getting pushback about this Save America Act, and you got to show your birth certificate and things like that, you know. So they're getting real strict, Chad. Real strict. You know, to try to make the voting system and the democracy as legit as possible. You know, it's going to be some hiccups. It's not going to be perfect, but you know, they're trying to get it where if you vote, you must be a U.S. citizen. All that bringing people over here and getting them to vote, you know what I'm saying, and rigging the system, that's not happening. They're trying to get over that, chat. So I think that's a good deal. They should have been doing it like that, in my opinion. You know, the elections should be, you know, you got to let us know who you are. You know, we don't want nobody that's not American voting. I know I don't want that, chat. You know, I don't want people that's from overseas voting, that's not really born in the USA, unless you legal. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know how that's going to work, you know, because there's a lot of people that's here that's U.S. citizens but not born here. So now that I think about it, if you come here and you do what you're supposed to do, and then they make you a U.S. citizen, I think you should have the right to vote. If you did everything right, came over here the right way, you pay taxes like everybody else, I think those people should have a right to vote, now that I think about it. But they're trying to change it where if you're not born in America, you don't have the right to vote. Now that I think about it, chat, I really don't like that, because if I come over here and I do everything correctly and I become a U.S. citizen and I pay taxes like everybody else, I should have a right to vote. That's what I'm thinking. What y'all think about that, chat? Now I'm starting to understand, as I think about it, why they're getting a little pushback. Because there's a lot of people that lives in America that was not born here, but they are citizens. For instance, the president's wife. She is a U.S. citizen, but she wasn't born here. You know, so if she's paying taxes and you contributing to the land of milk and honey. Well, Stock Sniper, what is the land of milk and honey? America. This land is the land of milk and honey. And in my opinion, chat, if you come over here and you do everything correctly, you participate, you know, in the IRS, and you pay your taxes, you know, and you are a U.S. citizen, because you came over here and did everything you're supposed to do, you should have the right to vote. So I'm understanding now why some people are questioning this Save America Act. But in my opinion also, chat, it's more to it than that. You know what I'm saying? It's more to it than that. How many votes we got now? If you're just not joining, we need you to vote. Why we need to vote, Stock Sniper? Because I am changing the name. I'm thinking about changing the name, rebranding the channel from Stock Sniper TV to the Freedom of Speech channel. That's what I'm thinking about doing. As we get more votes, man, it's getting close. We got 20 votes so far. And it's 60-40. I guess some of y'all like the name of Stock Sniper TV. Some of y'all like it, I guess.
The so-called Save America.
Some of y'all like the channel name as it is right now. Yeah, I kind of like it too. But this is the Freedom of Speech channel, you know, and I'm liking that more. I'm liking that more because what we got to realize is we all have the freedom of speech. Some people want to keep us quiet. You know, they want to make us shut up. You know, they don't want us to speak our mind. You know, and in America, that's the reason why our great soldiers have went to war. That's why my dad fought in wars. That's why my grandpa fought in wars. That's why my uncle fought in wars. Many cousins have fought in these wars. And that's why they are fighting for our freedoms. You know, the freedom of speaking, the freedom to express your opinion, as long as you say it in a mature way. You know, you don't have to agree with the stock sniper. You don't. And a matter of fact, I don't want people to agree with everything that I say. That's not what it's about. That's one thing about America, chat, that's different than any other country. You can speak your opinion. In other countries, a lot of those citizens overseas don't have a right to speak. You know, some of them get done all type of ways for just speaking their opinion on certain things. You know, here in America, we have the freedom of speech. And in my opinion, if I'm not mistaken, the freedom of speech is the First Amendment. I know the Second Amendment is we all have a right to bear arms. The First Amendment is you have the right, freedom of speech, to speak your opinion. We all have that right, you know. And a lot of people say these days in 2026, a lot of people that's in government are trying to keep our mouth closed. They're trying to take our freedoms away, the freedom of speech, the freedom to bear arms. Now, nope. In America, that's the First Amendment, freedom of speech. As long as you're respectful, you are not threatening nobody's life. Whatever you think, that's what you think. If, for instance, as an example, this is black. If you think it's red, hey, you got the freedom. You got the freedom of speech. You know? You got the freedom of speech, chat. Let's see how many votes we got now. Still 20. How long we been live? 47 minutes. Right at 9:12. So y'all, appreciate y'all for joining me, chat. Hope y'all having a great night. Whatever y'all got going on, hope y'all having a great, great night. I'm having an okay night. Just sitting back, kicking it. You know, thinking about rebranding the channel and the direction we want to take the channel to moving forward to 2026 and beyond, because this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. We got a 15-year plan with this channel, and we're trying to make it the best that we can make it, you know. And I'm thinking that by rebranding, renaming the channel, I'm thinking right now that is a good positive direction that we can go in. You know, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, I hope y'all came and joined me on the walk down today. We discussed a lot of different things. If you don't know, a father unalived his daughter today. Come to find out, that lady was 23 years old, and they were having heated discussions about Trump and MAGA. You know, they was having heated discussions. You know, and the father unalived his own daughter. You know, and now, you know, they're saying that he's trying to say that the gun just went off like it was an accident and things, you know, things like that. But allegedly, the word is that they were having a heated discussion about Donald Trump. In other words, a father and daughter disagreed about Donald Trump. Allegedly, particularly on basically how Donald Trump are handling the Epstein files. See, a lot of people are really, really on the edge when it comes to the Epstein files and who is all in those files and what happened, you know, and who was guilty and who's not. You know, it's a lot behind these Epstein files. And unfortunately, that is dividing homes, you know, because the people that are really 100% or 1,000% Donald Trump, you know, they're trying to push under the rug about the Epstein files, you know. So, you know, and a lot of the people that we elected and a lot of entertainers are on the files. You know, of course, if you really know how the feds work, this is how the feds work, chat. If the feds are watching me and I'm under investigation, more than likely, 9 times out of 10, everybody that I socialize with gonna be in the files, gonna be in my paperwork, you know, because they're tracking everything that I do and whoever I talk to, you know, all the phone logs, everybody I come in contact with, you know, 9 times out of 10 will be in my paperwork. So just because they say so-and-so is in the Epstein files, that don't necessarily mean that that person did anything illegal. That just means that they were in close contact with the accuser, right? Because one thing that we're finding out, that Epstein dude was a big time stock trader, chat. He was a big time stock trader. In other words, he knew what moves to make in the stock market. So he was giving a lot of trade ideas to the big timers in the 90s, in the 2000s. You know, this stuff about the Epstein files happened decades ago, right? In the 90s, maybe in the late 80s, late 1990s, you know, that era. So during that era, this Epstein, which is a high level stock trader, that's who he was. He was at the top of the top when it comes to trading stocks. Also, a lot of people are saying that he is the creator of some of these cryptocurrencies. Somebody told me that, because if you don't know anything about Bitcoin, Bitcoin's creator, which is supposed to be some Chinese guy that nobody ever seen before, a secret person, is the one that created Bitcoin. Well, in the trading world, a lot of people are saying that Epstein is the secret Bitcoin creator. That's what the word is on the Wall Street streets. You know, just like they got the YouTube streets, they got the Wall Street streets as well. What is the Wall Street street, Stock Sniper? That's what a whole lot of day traders and swing traders, people that are active in the stock market, are having conversations, you know, and that is the word on the stock market streets, that Epstein is the original creator of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So, I mean, that's what they say. But we do know, and this is a fact, Epstein was a high-level day trader. I mean, the highest of the highest level. You know, trading for all these celebrities, trading for Donald Trump, trading for Clinton, trading for all these high-level politicians. You know, he was giving them the game, you know, and possibly trading for them, you know. That's what it was. So a lot of people are in those Epstein files. That don't necessarily mean they're guilty. You know, it's those files is a lot. millions of pages. So, but the direct meat and potatoes, it's a totally different story. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's see what's up on the votes. If you just not joining, you know, I'm trying to rebrand the channel name. I want to change the channel name from the Stock Sniper TV to the Freedom of Speech channel. That's the direction that we are going. But we want to know the people that come through and rock with the channel. You know, we need you to vote. You know what I'm saying? We need you to vote. But if the change does happen, it will be once we get over 10,000 subs. Once we get over 10,000 subs, two things are going to happen. Number one, we will be doing a Cash App giveaway in celebration of the 10,000 subscribers. We're going to be giving away Cash App giveaways to random subscribers in the chat. We're going to put it on subscriber only mode, and we're going to give away some cash. You got to have Cash App or Zelle, maybe even PayPal, but for sure Cash App and Zelle. If you got Cash App and Zelle and you are a subscriber, once we get 10,000, maybe a little bit more than 10,000, like 10,100, something like that. Once we get well over 10,000, we're doing a Cash App giveaway. You know, and if everything goes right and you know, we got 600 more subscribers left. And this month is a anniversary month for the Stock Sniper TV, because February 2 years ago, that's when I started really taking this channel serious and really pumping out content. You know, so this is our 2-year anniversary. We're going into the 3rd year of being consistent on the channel. Yes, I've been having this channel for about 15 years, but majority of those 12 years, I think it's 12. Majority of these 12 years, I was consuming. I wasn't creating, right? And here and there, I did create. But 2 years ago, in February, some of y'all probably was here when we did the first Cash App giveaway ever on the channel. I'll never forget it. It was Super Bowl weekend 2 years ago. I had just crossed 200 subscribers, and we gave away $300. That was the first Cash App giveaway we ever did on the channel. And that first Cash App giveaway was crazy. So I think in honor and as a celebration to the channel, when we get back to the computer, I'm going to replay that Cash App giveaway, the very first Cash App giveaway we did on this channel 2 years ago, 2 Februaries ago. And the goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers in this month. February is a very, very important month for Stock Sniper TV. So 2 things are going to happen. I believe, and I got the faith, that we're going to get the 10,000 in 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, we will get the 10,000 subscribers. Once we get there, 2 things are going to happen. Number one, we're doing a Cash App giveaway, subscriber only mode. Number 2, we will announce that day if we are going to change the name and rebrand this channel from the Stock Sniper TV to the Freedom of Speech channel. And as I think right now, I think it's 80% chance that we're going to rebrand this channel. And when we do, another thing is going to happen. We're going to start bringing people up. You know, when we're talking about what's going on in America, what's going on in the world, what's going on in sports, what's going on with fitness, what's going on in our daily lives. Not a debate, but a mature conversation. No arguing, just a mature conversation. I want to bring people up, because I got a streaming service that I can bring up about 10 people at a time. So that's the direction that we're going with this channel chat. And this is We the People, and this is the Freedom of Speech channel. Exactly what it is. We got 36 people in the building. We need y'all to double tap the screen and go vote. If you've been on this channel before and you've been rocking with Stock Sniper TV, I need to know, what do you think about us rebranding this channel and changing the name to the Freedom of Speech channel? I need to know what you think. All you got to do is vote. Yes or no. That's all I need y'all to do for me is vote. I need everybody, 50 people in the building. I need y'all to do me a favor and go vote. I appreciate y'all opinion. We appreciate your opinion. So we need your opinion right now. What do you think? Do you think it's a good idea to rebrand the channel to the Freedom of Speech channel? I'll still be Stock Sniper. I'll still have my Stock Sniper gear, everything. That's going to remain the same because I am the Stock Sniper. That's a fact. But we're considering rebranding the channel to the Freedom of Speech channel moving forward. And I need to know what y'all think. The people that's been rocking with this channel, the 2 years that we've been taking this channel serious. I need to know what y'all really, really think, because it matters. It really do. But the Freedom of Speech channel has just been in my subconscious mind for about a month now. That's just been on my mind. Something is telling me, yes, change that. Because this is the Freedom of Speech channel. And I want everybody to know that. When you come across this channel, I want you to know that you have the freedom of speech over here. But of course, you got to use your common sense. But this is the Freedom of Speech channel. The blocking people, that's not what we do over here. Long as people are mature, it's all good, because everybody got a voice. Everybody got an opinion. That's one thing I hate, Chad, is when people try to shut me up. I hate that. I hate when people want to try to control somebody's opinion. I can't stand it. Can't stand it. I can't stand when people want to be trying to control somebody. I can't stand that. And that's what America is not. My grandfather, my dad, my uncle, my daughter that's in the military right now is not doing what they do for us to keep our mouth closed. So I'm real heavy on the Freedom of Speech channel. Damn, you streaming, G, with my Nokia. That's your opinion. And it's not a Nokia. But you understand, I just need you to vote. I need you to go vote. Do you think I should rebrand this channel and change it to the Freedom of Speech channel? Appreciate you for your comment. Appreciate you. But guess what? It does the job. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. It does the job. And I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty good. But I appreciate you giving your point of view on what you think. It's really, really appreciated. You know, but the background is another reason. The green screen is another reason that, you know, it's messing up the camera a little bit. But it's all good, you know. Ain't nothing perfect, bro. Ain't nothing perfect but God. And guess what? That's why you put your left foot in front of your right foot and you keep going, no matter what. Don't let a phone, don't let a camera, you know, if you don't have all your tools, don't let that stop you from doing what you do. You know, because it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. That's what we got to understand, bro. You know, the best thing to do, all you content creators out there, all you younger guys, all the ones with 200 and 300 subscribers, and you trying to get going, it doesn't matter. You know, you got to use what you got till you get what you need. You got to use what you got till you get what you need. And understand that it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. As long as you got a plan and you love what you do and you keep pushing forward and you stay positive and you empty out all the negativity and you got a goal, just keep going. You know, how you think Amazon, Apple, Whataburger, all these companies ended up being successful as they are? They started, whatever they had in the beginning, that's how they started, right? That's how they started, you know? Concentrate on your craft and worry about the rest later. If I'm sitting here worrying about the best of phone, the best of tools, maybe I would miss the big opportunities. That's what we got to think about, chat. So all you small channels, 200, 300, don't let a phone or a camera or a setting or lighting stop you from pressing play and connecting with the people. Because it's not about the camera. It's about what's coming out of my mouth. Listen to the OG. It's about what's coming out of my mouth. If I was worried about a camera and lighting, you know, I wouldn't be coming up on 10,000 subscribers right now. But guess what? I got a plan moving forward. I got a plan moving forward. And that's what you got to understand. And that's what we got to understand. If you got a passion for cooking, don't let the best case scenario stop you from launching your restaurant. You know, I know people that has the ugliest and the raggediest food truck. But guess what? They got the best tasting tacos. They got the best tasting vegan burgers. They got the best tasting barbecue. You know, that's what it's about. Just getting started. You think Amazon was all perfect? You think DoorDash and Uber was all perfect? It wasn't, chat. You think Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, he started Facebook in the garage. You think he was worried about how good the garage looked? No. He was focused on the prize. Now look. So the guy that was just talking about the way the camera looked, keep watching. Just keep watching and keep paying attention. That's why you need to subscribe to the channel and cut on all notification bells and watch what's about to happen. If you've been on the channel for a while, you already know I upgraded with my computer, with my software. I've already upgraded that. But today I went live from the phone because of this poll, you know? So just keep watching. Just keep watching. And sometimes, guys, you got to pay attention to the meat and potatoes. That's what you got to pay attention to. I got a mechanic. He got a raggedy truck. He got a raggedy truck. You wouldn't think he would be a mechanic, but guess what? He's one of the best mechanics you can ever meet. He got all his tools. They might be raggedy, but he got all his tools. He got great customer service. And he really cares about his customers. He really cares about the people. He's not worried about having the best of mobile mechanic vehicle. He just needs that truck, that raggedy truck that he go to work in every single day. He just needed it to get him to his customer and back home. And guess what? He is one of the best mechanics than you will ever meet. He treats his customers like people. He's honest with what's wrong with your vehicle. He's honest. And he got good prices. I know a barber that's cutting out the trap house. I said it. He's cutting hair out of a raggedy house. And guess what? You go get your hair cut by this guy. Woo! One of the best barbers probably in America. I said it. But if you look, oh man, am I really going to this house? So you can't worry about the outside. You got to worry about what's on the inside, chat. That's what you have to worry about. That's what you have to worry about. I could have the latest iPhone that just came out. I can have all the lighting, all the best stuff, equipment, high-tech stuff. But if I'm pushing out bullshit in the bubble gum and I'm scamming people, hello, and I'm leading people in the wrong direction, and I'm not coming here trying to teach somebody something from an OG perspective and trying to learn, all the lights and the glam and the gleam don't mean nothing. See, that's what we have to stop doing, chat. We have to stop paying attention to what's going on the outside, bro, and worry about what's going on in the inside. That's how a lot of you dudes and a lot of you girls end up with the wrong guy. You too busy paying attention to what's going on the outside instead of what's really happening with the person. You because the guy jumped out of a Ferrari wearing Gucci and Prada, you'll fall for that type of person because you're too busy worrying about what's going on the outside. But what you don't realize is that he's really a bozo. That's what we have to pay attention to. What the work is, not just the talk and what's going on the outside. It's like a book. You have to read the book, what's inside of the book. And that's what we have to realize. We worry about the wrong things too much, chat. That's what I had to realize. I can't be worrying about the wrong thing. I got to worry about what's going to help me and my family, my kids and my grandkids grow and elevate. And guess what? If I got to get it out the mud, I'm going to get it out the mud. So many of us don't know what it feels like to get it out the mud. You want everything all pretty before you start your business. You want everything all pretty, you know what I'm saying, before you you want your resume looking all pretty before you go put it in to get the best job you can get. You want your 18-wheeler brand new instead of getting the 18-wheeler you can afford and then hit the ground running. Just get started. Have a passion for what you love to do and get to it. Get to it. So many of us want things to be perfect. Instead of taking care of business and putting the work in, everything got to be perfect. I don't want to work out because I got to go to the perfect gym. Not understanding that all gyms got weights in it. Just like when I be in the gym at Planet Fitness, you got guys coming in. You working out at Planet Fitness, bro. It's not about the name. It's about what's in the building. It's weights. It's treadmills. It's exercise equipment. It doesn't matter. What matters is the work that you put in. That's what matters. It matters what type of person you are. It matters what type of person you're attracted to. That's what matters. So yeah, everybody out there, whatever, chase your dreams. Don't care about what nobody has to say. Don't care. Long as you love what you do, and you're willing to put the work in, that's what matters. What somebody think about you, it don't matter. It don't. What matters is putting the work in every single day. That's what matters. And that's what we got to realize. So many people miss their opportunity. Everything got to be perfect. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. So we got to remember that. We got to remember that, chat. When you starting something, you can't worry about what nobody say. Don't let nobody distract you. What that guy said, I could have let that distract me, and I could have got in my feelings, and he could have ran me off YouTube. But I understand that life is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Just think if somebody would have told Mark Zuckerberg, you launching a business out of a garage? Where would he have been? Even Amazon, Jeff Bezos, all these guys started their business from the mud. And that's what we got to think about. All that matters is the work you're going to put in, and if you love what you're doing. If you love what you're doing and you got a vision, all you got to do is get to work. In 2026, with the development of all these things, once you find your passion, It's time to get to it. I can't wait on this. I can't wait on that. I got to get to it right now. I procrastinated so long with this channel. Waiting on this. Wondering how I'm going to talk on the internet. You know, wondering how I'm going to feel if once I press play. Procrastinating. Procrastination is our worst enemy. Not willing to start. Not willing to take the chances of going to the next level. That's what we got to remember, Chad. It ain't got to be perfect. You just got to get started. You can make it perfect later. As long as God wake you up every single day. And you have the passion and the work ethic. And you understand this is long term. Keep watching, bro. Keep watching. That's what I want you to do. Keep watching the OG. Keep watching. And you'll see. How many votes we got now, Chad? 20 votes. Still at the same. We got 50 people in the building. Y'all please do me a favor and go vote. Please do me a favor and go vote. We are considering rebranding the channel from the Stock Sniper TV to the Freedom of Speech channel. What do you think? What do you think? Should we rebrand and change the name? And I want to know, all 50 people that's here, I want to know your opinion. I really do. You know, because a lot of people have been here since I took this channel serious 2 Februaries ago and made the decision to not worry about no camera. Don't worry about what I'm going to say. Don't worry about if I'm going to fumble with my words. Once I made the decision that I'm taking this serious, I just start pressing play every single day. It's been 2 Februaries from today. It's been 2 Februaries ago, 2 years. And guess what? We're coming up on 10,000 subscribers. And we love and we appreciate each and every one of y'all. And guess what? We about to get ready to take this to the next level. That's what we finna do. We got a lot of things coming up. On this recap, the first thing is once we get to 10,000 subscribers, we're doing the Cash App giveaway in celebration of the 10,000 subscribers. Number 2, that won't on that live, because once we get over 10,000 subscribers, like 10,100, we're doing the Cash App giveaway, subscriber only mode. Only the subscribers will be eligible for the giveaway. Also, what's going to happen? That day, we're going to tell the people if we're going to change the name to the Freedom of Speech channel. That's what we're going to do. So, I think I'm ending right here, Chad. I appreciate y'all for joining me. I appreciate everybody for rocking with me. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and click on all notification bells so you will know whenever I go live. I appreciate everybody that's subscribed to this channel. I appreciate everybody that come through and chat. I appreciate everybody that's just watching. I appreciate everybody. And I love and I appreciate y'all. But always remember, chat, nothing has to be perfect for you to get started with your dreams. I don't care what it is. A taco truck, 18-wheeler, a building to cut hair. Start where you at. As long as you're passionate and you have long-term goals, nothing can stop you. You all the way up. Like the song says, nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. Yes. And understand, you will have haters. You got to understand that. You could be on the same level. You could be below somebody. But you're more focused. You're more inspired. You're more driven. And guess what? You can go here. Then you can go above them. Then you can pass them up. Guess what's going to happen? They're going to hate on you. They're going to say you cheated in some kind of way. But as long as you know who you are, as long as you know, you put the work in, you put the steps in to go from level to level, because life is a marathon, it's not a sprint. Change the name to fried cheese and chips. That's a good one, bro. And with that being said, you got to stay away from the, you got to stay, with that right there, you got to stay away from the chips. You got to stay away from the sodas. You got to stay away from the processed food. You got to stay away from the cheese. You got to stay away from the burgers and all that sugar. I appreciate you though, man. That was kind of funny. I like that. Change the name to fried cheese and chips. That's a good one, bro. Hope you're having a great night. Hope you're having a great night. Appreciate you for coming through and rocking with the OG. I really appreciate it. I tell y'all, man, y'all, I can't, you know, I got to be happy about what's been going on. A lot of people rock with the walk down. If you don't know what the walk down is, it's a show that I created. I exercise. I run 3 miles a day, and then I walk another 1.5 miles. It's called the walk down. And without the chat and y'all, I am in excellent physical condition. I am in better shape than I've been in my whole life. And the chat and y'all that rock with this channel are the main reason. Because when I'm running, when I'm walking, I want to perform the best that I can. When I'm at the gym, some of y'all come rock with me at the gym. I want to perform, right? And guess what that has done? That has taken my fitness and my health to a whole nother level. So I want to thank y'all. Because the OG, I'm real healthy. Yeah, I'm healthy. You know, I'm real healthy. And y'all helped me by coming to rock with me. I've gotten better. I've became a better speaker. You know, if you go back and watch my first videos, I had what is called not being able to perform in front of the camera because it's hard to talk. You know, I'm not talking to nobody. I'm just talking to a camera, and it's difficult. You know, and I had to work on it. You know, and thanks to y'all, I'm really good at it, and I'm getting better every single day. So I think I'm gonna end it right here, chat. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and cut on all notification bells. Please vote before we get up out of here. I thank all y'all for rocking with me. I really love and I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all have a great night. It is 10 o'clock here, and guess what? The old man got to go to bed. So with that being said, chat, earn, spend less, make proper investments. Teach it to your kids and grandkids. Teach it to the people in your circle. And then teach it to the people around the world. And yes, your business, your job, your health, the way you treat other people is an investment. So with that being said, I love and I appreciate y'all, chat. To the next one, it's the one and only Stock Sniper. That will never change. I will always be the Stock Sniper. That ain't going nowhere. But the rebranding of the channel, the Freedom of Speech channel, that sounds good. And I think that's the direction we're going to go. And the people like it too. We got 57 yeses. And 57% says yes. 43% says no. We got 21 votes. So with that being said, y'all have a great night, chat. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so at this time. Y'all have a great night, chat. Good night. 7:58. Appreciate you for joining. Y'all have a great night, chat. May God bless you and your family. With that being said, to the next one, I'm out. Good night, chat. I love y'all. I gotta end the vote. I gotta end it. Let me see how to do this, chat. Let me see. Well, never mind. To the next one, chat. Y'all have a great night. I'm out.